Okay, we are in the citation longitude, Red Victoria International in British Columbia, Canada. Let's take a quick look around here. I'm making this video because there seems to be a lot of people like myself who are running a 4790K. And then we have the new RTX 3080 launch. Today is October 22nd or 23rd, I believe. So I just got my 3080 today. And if you look over here in the bottom left corner, I'm in the cockpit. Now you got to remember or even know that I'm running shadow play right now. I'm running 4K. I'm running a high bit rate in 4K as I record. So I'm taking a bit of a hit here. Typically right now, sitting here, I'd be seeing close to 50 frames per second. I will show my graphic settings afterwards. I'm running a fairly high graphic settings. 4790K. I've got an EVGA RTX 3080 for the Win 3 Ultra. I'm using DDR3 1600 megahertz RAM. Anyways, I wanted to show you how it would go. I've done a test run here, and I will tell you there is some differences. Not only am I missing about 8 frames per second, sometimes in certain areas as much as 10 or 12 because of the recording with shadow play. But I also noticed that sometimes it's not as buttery smooth as it is. I'm telling you right now, it's buttery smooth. And it's a big step up from the card that I was running before. And if you're thinking about a 3080 and you've got like a 4790K or maybe a 67 or a 77, go ahead and buy it. You'll enjoy the heck out of it. Anyways, so I'm just going to set my altitude here. I already know what it is. I make this run a lot. By the way, I did not choose this particular airport for all the water to, buff what my frames look like. I live in the Vancouver area. That's why I chose this. But I've tested it over Alberta and over the Rockies coming out of Kelowna. It's the same deal. Let's make sure I get this set up right. And just bump up our airspeed, set speeds here. Oops. I do fly IFR. I was an IFR instructor here in Canada. If you know anything about a Canadian license, that's one of the best in the world for how well you're trained. I'm not going to do all the cold, dark starts and everything else. I did that for a living. I just want to fly. So, just make sure the park brake is off. Yes. Let's give her some gas here and away we go. Anyways, I just want to demo, a little bit of a demo of the game, but I'm really about, is a 4790K at 4.7 gigahertz enough to run a 3080? Answer, short answer, yes. You're coming up. Like right now, I should be seeing well over 45 frames per second. And we'll switch the nav on. There we go. Right now, like I've capped my frames. I think I haven't capped my frames, but my monitor only does 61 hertz at 4K. I'd be sitting at 61 right now if I didn't be recording this right now.
Cessna Romeo Uniform Sierra Hotel Vancouver Center. Continue to Yankee Yankee Juliet as planned. Altimeter 29.902.
Now, if you've done some research, oops. Come on, you can do it. throttle in. Everybody who's running the longitude, the auto throttle button's right there. So it does have one. I think I saw Squirrel say it didn't have one. Yeah, it does. Anyways, right now we'd be sitting around 48 frames, maybe even close to 50 right now. But don't forget, like I said, I'm recording at 4K to upload at a very high bit rate as well. 60 frames per second. I run my trees, my buildings at medium. If you look on YouTube, there's a guy that actually shows you what the difference in the settings are. Like, he actually looks at a certain building and then comes back to it with high, medium, low. Between low and medium, yeah, there's a huge difference. Between medium and high, if you're standing right in front of it, you'll see it. Between high and ultra, even if you're standing in front of it, you have to really look closely as to what the difference is. I'm not standing anywhere near close any of this stuff, and it looks really good. Pretty much how it'll look from the air. How about that? Many hours in the air, I can tell you that's what it looks like from the air. And if you saw that little bump in there in the frame, that's the shadow play that did that. It doesn't do it unless I'm recording. So, you know, am I putting a load on things? Sure I am. I saw as high as 97% GPU usage there with my 4790K. It comes and goes. It does. But I think at times it's just not being taxed that hard. Here in the cockpit. Look at that. Drops right down. Because there's just not a lot going on. Now you'd think, oh, well, it would bump the frames per second. Well, I am running into, you know, it's not running at 100% CPU usage. Not exactly sure why. I think it might have something to do with some optimization going on here, but it is what it is.
Cessna Uniform Sierra Hotel contact Vancouver approach on ONE 20.8.
Anyways, I don't intend this video to be terribly long.
Cessna Uniform Sierra Hotel.
Yes, I'm over water, and I know there's my 60 frames per second because I'm over water. I understand that. But that's not the end all of this upload. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to engage the sim rate and bump us forward a little bit here. Get us back over the mainland.
And altitude. Expect ILS runway 26 left approach via safe transition cleared to save Cessna Uniform Sierra Hotel.
I have considered that possibly why I'm not getting full CPU usage, which I should with this card, is that I'm only running, well, I've got 32 gigabytes of RAM, but it's only 1600 megahertz. I think if I went to the 2400 megahertz, I'd be up in the 80s consistently. I don't know that for sure, but I suspect that's what's going on here. The RAM's just not fast enough to create that load on the CPU. I'm still in the sim rate here. When we get back over land, I'll bump it back to normal. Real time, if you like.
Cessna Uniform Sierra Hotel contact Seattle Center on 125.1.
Going to ONE 25.1 Cessna Uniform Sierra Hotel.
Yeah, you see my call sign is Rush.
Seattle
Romeo
Center,
Uniform
Cessna
Sierra
Romeo
Hotel.
Uniform Sierra Hotel, 4,000 feet.
I'm the pilot for Rush.
Uniform Sierra Hotel Seattle Center
I'm
continues
kidding.
to knockdown as planned. Altimeter 29.9.
Okay, let's get us slowing down here. I know
Cessna
250.
Uniform Sierra Hotel contact Vancouver Center on ONE 25.9 or 5.
I'm just trying to expedite things a little bit here.
125.905 for Cessna Uniform Sierra Hotel.
Like right now, I'd be over 50
Vancouver
frames per
Center,
second.
Cessna
You see
Romeo
those
Uniform
spikes in
Sierra
there?
Hotel,
Again,
4,000 feet.
it's got to do with the shadow play. I don't have a capture card, so it is what it is. If you're getting over 30 frames at 4K, it's pretty smooth. If you're getting 45, I see tons of people running, 10 700s, you know,
120.8 for Cessna Uniform Sierra
i9 9900Ks running 2080 Ti's that are fighting for 45.
Romeo Uniform Sierra Hotel, 4,000 feet.
Cessna Romeo Uniform Sierra Hotel Vancouver approach. Continue to knock up as planned. Altimeter 29.902. Cessna Uniform Sierra Hotel descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet Cessna Uniform Sierra Hotel.
Anyways, it's nice and smooth. It is, except for that little glitch you'll see every so often that's being created by the shadow play. But even on buildings, medium, trees, medium, objects, medium, what are you looking for? That looks pretty darn good to me. There's your auto throttle, by the way, in the longitude. You can just map that to a button. I map most of my buttons. See that little glitch there? That's not my CPU. That's shadow play doing that to me. Same with the frame rate right now. Without the shadow play, I'm sitting close to 50. Like, or over, meaning over or just under. I'm losing between 8 and 10 frames per second doing this. Now I could have done it at a really low resolution, 30 frame per second 4K, but I didn't want to do that. You'll just have to take my word for it. Or don't, whatever you like.
Cessna Uniform Sierra Hotel, you are 13 miles east of Vancouver. Contact Vancouver Tower on 118.7 when inbound.
Approach phase.
Tower on 118.7 Cessna Uniform Sierra Hotel. Vancouver Tower Cessna Romeo Uniform Sierra Hotel, 12 miles east inbound ILS runway 26 left approach.
Cessna Romeo Uniform Sierra Hotel Vancouver Tower. Cleared ILS runway 26 left approach. Altimeter 29.9er, 2 wind 25, 2 and 3.
Cleared ILS runway 26 left approach, Cessna Uniform Sierra Hotel.
There's that glitch again. Like I said, that's shadow play. Like I said, after I come to a stop just off the runway there, I'll escape and show you my settings.
Uniform Sierra Hotel, cleared to land runway 26 left. Wind 252 entry.
Cleared to land runway 26 left Cessna Uniform Sierra Hotel.
Anybody else notice that you actually, as you get in tighter, you're a couple degrees off parallel with runway center? I've noticed that at a lot of airports. And I could do without the porpoising too. Okay, that's where I switch off auto throttle. And then just with pitch, I can match what was the engine speed. At the last second, I'll turn the autopilot off and flare it out and land. Looks pretty good to me on medium. And you take a big hit for going high, never mind ultra. Getting ready to drop the autopilot right about there. A little bit of a bounce there. Jump off right about here.
Cessna Uniform Sierra Hotel exit runway when able.
I'm just using a Logitech flight stick. The what do they call it here? 3D Pro. Works
Cessna
really good.
Uniform Sierra Hotel contact ground on
You can find them
127.15.
online for like $50, used in really good shape.
127.15 for Cessna Uniform Sierra Hotel.
Okay, so we'll jump out here and I'm going to show you my settings. 4K, full screen. Running the high end anti-aliasing. There, buildings, trees, grass and bushes. Just set those to medium as well as your volumetric cloud. You're good to go, and you're not really going to notice it. You know, everybody trying to push it to the max, push it to the max. Everything else is set pretty much high. Water waves, medium. You don't notice them up there anyways. Contact shadows are medium. I always run windshield effects a low. I don't care how good your graphics card is. I hate that smeared look on your windscreen. I never seen it in an airplane like that. And if I did, I'd let the mechanic know he needs to do a polish on my windscreens. Light shafts medium. I don't like a lot of light shafts, so that's why I turn it down. Everything else is, you know, high refresh rate on the cockpit. That's pretty much it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed it. And if you got a 4790K or something similar, go ahead and buy a 3080. You'll be glad you did. Have a good one.